Hey guys, it's Aaron here at Level Up Yoga, and today we are going to be working on lengthening out your hamstrings. So if you're struggling to touch your toes, this is the video that you want to be watching. The only thing that you'll need will be 2 blocks or 2 really thick books. They're really just for us to kind of prop our hands up on. So anything that's got a bit of girth to it is going to be great. So with that being said, roll your mat out. I'm going to roll the intro and I will see you on the floor. So when you are ready, just coming to a comfortable seat. Cross-legged is fine. If you need to sit on your shins, that is fine too. What I want you to think about is creating a nice straight spine, rolling your shoulders back and down. Starting to engage your core by drawing your belly button in towards your spine and then closing down your eyes. We're going to take a big, deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out, feeling right up and out. One more time. I'm just starting to set a nice slow breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Starting to slow everything down. Move away from whatever is happening in your life outside of this moment. Starting to really focus on your breath. Knowing that right now you have taken the time to work on yourself. Step onto your mat and move through your yoga practice. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Blinking open your eyes. I'm going to come over the knees, swing the legs around behind us, popping onto all fours. We'll start by moving through some cat-cows. So as you breathe in, looking up to the sky, dropping your belly to the floor. As you exhale, starting to round out your spine, look down towards your knees. Inhale, starting to point the tailbone up, squeezing the elbows together. And exhale, rounding out your spine, tucking the tailbone. We'll take 2 more breaths just like that. Inhale, reaching heart forwards. Exhale, closing ourselves off. Do that one more time. It's coming back to a nice flat back. Tucking the toes under. We'll lift our knees slightly up off the floor. Starting to really engage through your core now. So lifting your belly button up into your spine. Your lower abs are switched on. We'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting right foot off the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot off the floor. See if you can keep the knees even. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And coming back down. Just take a moment to sit back towards your heels. Give your hands a bit of a shake out. And then let's get into it. Planting the hands back under your shoulders, tucking the toes, lifting your hips up to find downward facing dog. Now, if it's your first one of the day, if you've done a couple already, let's give it a bit of a walkout. I want you to really focus on pushing one heel at a time towards the ground. As you do, feel that big stretch through your hamstring, through your calves, through the backs of your legs. Really setting the intention to stretch out the backs of our legs today. We need to really push your hands into the floor. Squeeze your elbows towards each other, keeping even weight through the palms. Maybe slightly gripping the floor with your fingertips. They're starting to find some stillness. And we need to see if you can straighten out your spine, straighten out your arms, and then very slowly, starting with your knees a little bit bent, start to push your heels towards the floor behind you. Just straightening out your legs as much as you possibly can. If your knees are still quite bent, that's totally fine. I'll take 2 more breaths here. All right, very slowly, we're gonna start to walk our hands back towards our feet. Now do your best, it might not work for you, but do your best to keep your legs straight for that whole process. When you get back to your fold, see if you can bend your knees, make sure your belly's touching on your thighs. Let's grab onto our opposite elbows with the hands. Let the head dangle, the shoulders, the arms dangle. Maybe like to bob up and down, kind of sway side to side a little bit. I'm going to change the cross of our arms. Let ourselves hang a little more, releasing any tension through your shoulders, through your neck. And take one more breath. And releasing hands to the floor. Let's take a big breath in, flatten out our backs, coming into a halfway lift. So you can really squeeze your shoulder blades together. Take a breath in. Exhale, folding back down to the floor. Let's do that 2 more times. Halfway lift, breath in. And folding, exhale. 1 more time. Inhale, coming up. And fold. And very slowly, starting to stand ourselves up. Just letting spine, vertebrae stack one at a time. Once you come up, lifting hands all the way up to the sky. And exhale, folding back down to the floor. I think my cameraman was meant to be panning then. Take a halfway lift, breathing in. As you exhale, we're going to start to walk the hands forwards again. Nice and slowly find our plank pose. Once you get there, I want you to push your hands into the ground as hard as you can, nice and straight. Even weight through the hands again, squeezing the fingertips into the floor. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, keeping the elbows in, lowering yourself slowly down to the floor. As you come up to a cobra pose. Inhale, lifting chin, lifting chest, squeezing shoulders. And exhale back to the floor. 2 more times, lifting up, inhale, elbows squeeze together. And back down. 1 more time. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, finding our downward facing dog. Readjusting in any way that you need to. I'll take 1 more breath. Maybe take a big breath in through the nose. And side out. Inhale. Exhale, walking hands back towards your toes. Keep the legs straight if possible. Halfway lift as you fill up. And fold as you empty. Standing up, filling up. And folding as you empty. Half lift, breath in. Plank pose, breath out. Inhale here. Exhale to lower, this time halfway down. We'll find our upward facing dog. Lifting everything off the ground. And downward facing dog. Let's go through that one more time. We'll inhale here. Exhale, walking hands back to your toes. Come up halfway, breath in. And fold, exhale. Standing up, breathing in. And folding back down to the ground. And take a halfway lift. Walking through to your plank pose. Nice and controlled. Breathing in here. Elbows stay in, we lower through our chaturanga. Upward facing dog, filling up. Downward facing dog, exhale. Just taking a couple of breaths here. If you need a little rest, more than welcome to drop your knees to the ground, big toes to touch, sinking back into a child's pose. Whatever option you've taken. We'll take 2 more breaths. If you're in your child's pose, coming back up to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, I'm going to lift our right leg to the sky. See if you can keep it nice and straight. Toes pointing at the floor. Keeping the arms straight, driving your chest back towards your left toes. One more breath. Can you lift a little higher? As you exhale, drawing that knee through to your nose, I'm going to lightly step it between our hands. I want your toes and your fingers in line. Your knee stacking over the top of your ankle. Take a big breath in your low lunge. As you exhale, dropping your left knee, your back knee to the floor. See if you can tuck your left toes, your back toes. Pick that knee up and draw it a little further back. Take an inhale, pulling everything forward. As you exhale, starting to straighten out that front leg, coming into a half split. Now this is where your blocks can come in. If you want to grab both your blocks, as you shift back, you can place your hands on the blocks, on their flat side, on the medium side, or on the high side, whatever works best for you. I want you to spread your toes really wide, flex them back towards your body. See if you can flex your foot towards your body. Take a big breath in. See if you can straighten your spine a little more. As you exhale, starting to fold all the way down over that leg. Let's have a little play around. See what it feels like if you point your toes out to the right. See what it feels like if you point your toes out to the left. And come back to center and notice how the sensations in the back of your leg change. Can you lift your kneecap up in towards your thigh a little bit more? Maybe forward a little further for one last breath. And slowly shifting our way forwards, back into that low lunge. I'm going to take a big breath in. As you do, tuck your toes, Lift that back knee up. Take a big breath in, shifting forwards. As you exhale, shifting back to pyramid pose. So again, straightening out that front leg, your right leg. Inhale, bend the knee, come forward. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, coming forwards. Exhale, straightening, pyramid pose. Setting your hands up either on top of your blocks, maybe they're on the floor. See if you can roll your shoulders back, lift your heart. And take a big breath in. As you exhale, starting to fold forwards over that leg. If your pyramid pose looks nothing like mine, if you're maybe unable to straighten your right leg, don't stress. It's taken me a really long time to get to where I am in my practice. And if today is day one for you, then it's all chill. Just work with where you're at. I'll take one more breath here. Inhale, starting to bend that front knee. Coming back to our lunge. Switching on your core, driving your right foot into the ground. We'll lift our hands up to find crescent lunge. In your lunge, I want you to lift your back knee towards the sky. See if you can kind of shift your whole torso back just a little bit, kind of creating a bit of a stretch through your left hip flexor. Your arms are up nice and straight. You're softening your shoulders away from your ears. And take one more breath. Finding warrior two. Dropping your back heel to the ground. Front knee stays exactly where it was. And you're looking over your front middle finger. See if we can sink a little bit lower. Kind of opening your knees away from each other. Not letting that front knee drop in. One more breath. Can you sink a little lower? And we're going to flip our front palm to face the sky. Start to reverse, kind of painting this big old rainbow through the sky, stretching out the right side of our body. Starting to release, and as you do, straightening out that front leg. I'm going to walk our back foot in just a step, kind of take that heel toe action. That straight front leg, I want you to engage it as much as you can. See if you can turn your right knee out towards the right. We're gonna start to shift everything forward, keeping the arms as they are for the moment. And then dropping the hands so they stack on top of each other. You can look towards your toes. You can look out to the side. You can look up to the ceiling if you'd like. What I want you to really focus on is engaging your right leg and trying to extend your hands as far away from each other as you possibly can. We've got 3 more breaths here. See if you can roll that left shoulder back and down. And last breath. Shifting your gaze to your right toes. I'm going to take weight into the right foot, shifting all of our weight, hands still stacking, taking half moon or Ardha Chandrasana. You have the option to keep that hand on the floor if you'd like, and it makes it a little easier. You can bring your block in under there, just use it as a bit of support. Trying to open our whole body out to the left. I'm a little bit wobbly today, no doubt you are too. We'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking hands to the floor and stepping back Move through our Vinyasa, lowering down through Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Just giving the legs another little walk out. Just notice how different they feel. And when you're ready, taking a breath in, lifting your left leg to the sky. Nice and straight. Pointing the toes towards the floor. Arms are out straight. Chest driving towards your right toes. We'll take a big breath in. Can you lift a little higher? As you exhale, drawing left knee to your nose. Stepping that foot in between your hands. Take a big breath in here. And dropping the right knee to the ground. Far back as you can. Inhaling, shifting forwards, looking forwards. Exhale, rocking to our half splits. Blocks or no blocks, doesn't really matter. And inhale forwards. And exhale back. Really flexing the foot, inhale forwards. And exhale back. Maybe shifting that back knee back a little further. Trying to straighten up your spine. Keep flexing your foot towards your knee. Lifting your knee up into your thigh. The aim here is to engage all the muscles through the front of our left leg as much as we possibly can. It's going to tell the muscles in the back of our leg that it's okay to switch off, it's okay to relax. And take one big breath in. As you exhale, maybe folding down if that's comfortable for you. And take 2 more breaths. See if you can point your toes out to the left. Maybe point your toes out to the right. And shifting forwards. Nice and slowly. I'm going to tuck our back toes. Lift your back knee up to the sky. Taking a big breath in here, shifting forwards. As you exhale, pyramid pose, starting to straighten out that left leg this time. Inhale forwards. Exhale, straighten. One more time, shifting forwards. And straightening. Now if your leg doesn't go straight, maybe it did on the other side, doesn't on this side, it's all good. No stress on straightening the leg out. And see if you can straighten your spine a little more. Maybe lift up onto your fingertips. We'll take a breath in and folding over that leg. See if you can drive your left hip towards the back of the room. Kind of squaring your hips off to the top of your mat. And take 2 more breaths. And slowly shifting forwards. Driving your left foot into the ground. Your right knee up towards the sky. Lifting up into your crescent lunge. Anjayanasana. Sinking nice and low. Strong through the legs. Soft through the shoulders. See if you can lean your torso just a little bit back. Notice how that changes the pose for you. And take 2 more breaths. Maybe taking it a little more down. Warrior 2. Front knee stays still. Everything sinks low. Fingers spreading as far away from each other as you can get them. Let's take it a little lower for 2 more breaths. Flipping that front palm. reversing. One more breath. As you release, straightening out that front leg, walking the back foot in, just one step. I'm gonna externally, excuse me, that was a burp of chippies. Externally rotate that left leg, starting to shift everything forwards. And once you find your extent, stacking the arms on top of each other. Don't worry too much about fingertips touching the floor. If it's comfortable, bring a block in, place your palm on it. Maybe look up towards the ceiling. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Looking back towards your left toes. If you have a block, taking it with you, taking weight into the left foot, right hand stays up, finding our Ardha Chandrasana half moon pose. You'll notice that my wrists, shoulders, and elbows are stacking in a nice straight line. Flexing your foot back towards your body, lifting that right leg a little higher for 3, 2, 1. Taking hands to the floor, stepping back to your plank pose. Just move through our flow. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time, just pedaling out the heels. Just noticing how your hamstrings are feeling. They should be feeling a little bit looser. We'll look up towards our hands. Take a breath in, lift the heels. As you exhale, just journeying your way to a seat, whatever that looks like for you. And let our legs out long. You can pop your blocks off to the side. Just gonna tap their knees out on the floor. Let them loosen off a little bit. I need to sort of pull your bum cheeks out of the way. There's no fleshy stuff on the floor. I need to just keep your feet about hip width-ish apart, flexing your toes towards your body and then pointing them. Flexing your toes, flexing your feet and pointing. We'll do that one more time. Flexing and pointing. Inhale, lift the hands up towards the sky. Flexing the feet. Maybe grab your ankles. And then very slowly, starting to fold ourselves down. Maybe straightening out the legs. Just finding as deep a variation of a fold as you possibly can. Whatever it looks like for you is what it looks like for you. What works in my body doesn't mean it's going to work for your body. We're all completely unique. So if your hamstrings are a little bit tight, it's all good. Maybe it just means that you should stretch them out a little bit more. We'll take one more breath. And maybe finding your deepest variation and then slowly sitting up. I'm going to keep the legs straight. I'm going to just bring your hand up and behind your head. Again, we're going to flex our toes, flex our feet. Start to draw your elbows together. And then using your hands, I want you to draw your chin towards your chest. Taking a bit of a stretch out through the back of your neck. Keep squeezing the elbows in. Now keeping your chin touching your chest. See if you're able to start to kind of draw your elbows towards your hips. You should feel a big stretch all the way down your neck, then your back, maybe into your hips a bit.
nice backline stretch. And take one more breath. And slowly releasing.
All right, making your way down onto your back. You know, hug your knees into your chest, really tight. Try and drive your tailbone towards the floor. And releasing. And taking your arms wide and just dropping your knees down to the right. Coming back to center. And dropping the knees down to the left. Finding your way slowly back to center. You're going to finish in Shavasana, letting your legs out long, letting your arms relax by your sides. Maybe your legs are wide, maybe they're together. What matters most is that you are completely relaxed and super comfy here. You can let go of your breath. Let go of all the work that we've just put in. Really just taking a moment to relax fully. I highly recommend that you pause this video right now and give yourself 5 minutes to just let it go. I'll meet you in a comfortable seat when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me today for our yoga practice. I hope that this has been beneficial for you. I know that when I started, I had super tight hamstrings, and it was this style of practice that really helped me to get a bit more length into them, get rid of those lower back pains that we all seem to struggle with these days. I think sitting in chairs is a big problem in our society, so this is just a way to start to kind of reverse that. So if you feel good, if you enjoyed that sequence, give this video a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you want to do next week, and subscribe to the channel. Do all the things that you have to do on YouTube to keep me here bringing yoga to the people. And again, thank you so much for joining me. Have a wicked fun day.